Oh, folks, welcome back to a very special episode of History Contingency Tapes, one in which we take a little break and dig through McNasty's mailbag. Now, first to some business, and then we're going to get to some of your very fun questions. Now, I know you're saying, hey, wait, come on, man, where's my fucking history, McNasty? And I get it. Look, long and short of it is we've been producing these episodes month to month up until now, but with the launch of the YouTube channel, we were able to set aside a little budget to get the rest of the episodes for the year in production simultaneously. So, while it's been a bit of a process, the Puppet History Inc. machine is now officially in motion, and this is the last time you'll ever see me kick this can down the road. But why the kicking of said can for this month specifically? Well, as you know, the ethos behind History Contingency Tapes is that we get to dig into smaller tales that might not merit a full episode of Puppet History, but wouldn't you know it, nearly every month we hone in on what appears to be a tasty little morsel, and the more we dig into the stacks of books about said morsel, the more we realize, oh, pretty much everything that has ever happened is fascinating and requires some context, and this episode could easily be 55 minutes long, but we gotta cut it down, but we still gotta tell the story, and to tell the story, we basically need to know everything that we would need to know to tell a 55-minute story, even though the show's only 10 to 15 minutes. So, we've got an episode on deck for next month that I think is utterly fascinating, and frankly, one that I'm surprised we haven't covered yet, but the script felt like it needed a little more contextual information, and frankly, while we're trying to be a little less precious with the spin-off and get down to the brass tacks of serving up piping hot history lessons on the monthly, I didn't want to deliver something that felt undercooked. That's the McNasty guarantee. Now, I know there's been a few hitches in the giddy-up in these first few months of getting this sick new IP off the ground, but I assure you that behind the scenes we are rapidly approaching the point of turning this bad boy into a well-oiled machine. And we very much appreciate your patience. We wouldn't be here without you. All right, now, let's move on to our mailbag. Oh, looks like we got a quick phone call here. Let me guess.
Connie! Estranged producer Shane Madej here.
Hi!
What's this mailbag horse shit?
Oh, yeah. Ought to be fun for the community. You know, they leave comments all the time, and how often do you get an answer, you know, from the professor? It's nice. Plus, as I was just explaining, we didn't want to deliver a half-assed lesson.
Silence! I'll let it slide this time, and for the record, I'm very happy to hear you've got the rest of the year's episodes in production. But if this ever happens again, McNasty, I'll nail your little blue balls to the wall.
Ooh, kinky.
No! Don't you be horny about it. It's a threat, you little pervert.
Oh, gotcha. Don't worry, man. Got it all under control.
All right. I'm going to go hunt the most dangerous game with Mr. Beast. We'll talk soon.
Eesh. All right. Mailbag. Okay. First up, of our episode about radium, Julia on Watcher TV writes, reminds me of how AI is pushed to be used for everything nowadays, with scientific studies showing that certain uses, for example, using it to write, summarize literature, or construct your own arguments for you, can literally destroy neural connections in your brain and make it extremely difficult to do those tasks yourself. And then Julia ended with that funny little moon who's always doing that. A little smile. One of my favorite emojis there ever was. Anyway, yep, that was the entire motivation behind that episode, Julia. And we initially had some lines in the script that were a little more on the nose about it, but you're all a smart bunch, and I figured, as the world's smartest fan base, you'd put all the pieces together. But you're exactly right. The jury's out on the long-term effects of AI usage, but if I had to guess, I'd say getting into the habit of putting your brain on a shelf and walking away from it for extended periods of time might cause that old noodle to accumulate some dust, and brain dust is bad. So be wary, folks. Next up, a letter from the land of the Golden Horn itself. Arcadia Gay on Watcher TV says, quote, a peasant girl in southern Denmark. Not only is Denmark mentioned, but I am also mentioned? Whoa. First off, always exciting to hear from viewers around the world, but even more so, fun to hear from a peasant. I love peasants, and I'm certainly not suggesting everyone in the comments for all things puppet history related should roleplay as actual peasants going forward, or that would create the world's weirdest, best community on the entire internet. But I'm not suggesting that. Thanks, Arcadia Gay. Next up, Alyssa on Watcher TV says, damn, can't believe BetterHelp did 9/11. Okay, look, I feel I must clear this up. I've seen this taken out of context a few times. So let me set the record straight. When we said, BetterHelp did 9/11, that was an example of what we wouldn't be able to say if we were sponsored by BetterHelp, which we're not. And they didn't do 9/11. So that's the context for why we said, BetterHelp did do 9/11. And we're not gonna put that on t-shirts or mugs or anything. We can't do that. I hope that helps. Next up, Annetta Carter, Watcher TV. I noticed the copyright on the episode is 2023, but there's a joke about what's going on now in 2026. Is the professor still time traveling? Are he and a strange producer Shane here with us now in 2026? After all that happened to them last year? I'm so happy. Huh, that is strange. Did I say 2026? I guess I did. You know, puppet history is rich with complicated lore, and the beauty of these history contingency tapes is that I record them here in my special little office that exists outside of time and space. That's right. That's all you need to know. 2026, 2023, all the same to me. I'm infinite, like Chuck. Am I also dead? Yeah. Is Shane Madej dead? Uh-huh. Is Ryan Bergara fucking dead? You bet. Could I, from here in the past, but also from the future, ever put my thumb on the scales to affect the plot line of puppet history proper? Oh boy, I don't even want to think about that. I just want to learn. So don't worry about it. Anyway, let's see what folks on YouTube are saying. Sad Trash Hobo. Okay, I love seeing the artwork in these episodes. Yeah, hey, you know what? Thank you for saying that. Obviously on Puppet History, we really bend over backwards to assemble and animate breathtaking scenes. But in my many years of research, I've stumbled across so many absolutely stunning pieces of visual original art from throughout the ages, and the goal with History Contingency Tapes was to be a little more Ken Burnsy about stuff and linger on visuals a bit more, because art deserves to be appreciated, whether it's bombastic and striking, like this, or simple and achingly beautiful. Look at that. Also, there's a lot of fucking disgusting medical illustrations out there. That's just a word of warning. There's a lot. Don't even go looking, okay? Next up on YouTube, Arcane Archer. I just had an edible in the last few hours of my birthday. Perfect time for the algorithm to show me this new channel. Oh, well, first of all, happy birthday. Happy to have you here. Hey, do you ever wonder what makes our hearts keep beating? And what's to keep them from just stopping? All right, that's gonna do it for this little detour. We'll do some more mailbags in the future, but in the meantime, look forward to some piping hot history lessons coming your way. We'll see you next time, peasants!